If you are seeing this, can you please come home to your family? They really do miss you.
The woman addressing the media is Rose Chase. 6 months earlier, her husband, Adam Chase, disappeared, leaving behind a string of unanswered questions. But there's something off about Rose's appeal. She appears distracted, almost as if she's seeking reassurance, checking to see if she's saying the right things. Her words sound rehearsed rather than heartfelt, raising the unsettling question of whether she's speaking of her own free will. As the investigation progressed, even the simplest truth, whether Adam was alive or dead, remained agonizingly out of reach. And what followed was the unraveling of a plot so dark and meticulously planned, it left everyone in utter shock.
Head, arms, legs, came off no problem.
All right.
On June 15, 2012, Sylvia Chase reported her 31-year-old son, Adam Chase, missing to the Ontario County authorities in New York. He had not contacted his family for close to 2 days, something highly unusual for him. Sylvia explained that she had reached out to her daughter-in-law, Rose Chase, who shared some troubling details. Rose claimed that she and Adam had both taken the day off work the day before, on June 14th, to work on their strained marriage. The tension had started a week before Adam went missing, when Adam's sister received a photo of Rose kissing a man in a park named Mark. When Sylvia confronted Rose about it, Rose dismissed the incident, saying that Mark was just a friend and she believed he was gay. Unsatisfied with Rose's explanation, Sylvia forwarded the image to Adam on June 12th, 2 days before Adam went missing. This led to a heated argument between the couple. However, after things calmed down, Adam and Rose agreed to take some time off work to try and resolve their issues. But when Adam failed to reach out to his family for 2 days, Sylvia became increasingly concerned. That's when she called Rose again to find out that both had argued on June 14th, after which Adam had stormed out of the house to clear his head and hadn't returned since. To Sylvia, this didn't add up. Adam's silence was out of character. Trusting her instincts, she reported Adam missing to the authorities. When an officer contacted Rose following the missing persons report, she explained that Adam had been upset during their argument, particularly about her meeting with her former co-worker, Mark, at the park. She said that after the argument, Adam stormed out of the house on foot, stating, quote, she would not find him until he wanted her to. During the phone conversation, Rose remains extremely cordial and mentions that Adam left on foot without taking any of his belongings, including his phone. She also notes that there have been no withdrawals from their joint bank account. This strikes the officer as odd. Adam is known to be quite reclusive, and the fact that he left with nothing and hadn't contacted anyone since raises several red flags. Sensing that Adam may be in danger, the officer immediately notifies dispatch and requests that a missing person case be filed.
Could you make a CR, please, for a missing person?
Sure.
The complainant would be Sylvia Chase.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the notes, her son, Adam Chase, left the residence yesterday around 11 a.m. on foot. Hasn't been heard or seen or heard from since.
The preliminary investigation into the lives of Adam and Rose Chase reveals that they were high school sweethearts who married shortly after graduation and had been together for nearly a decade. Over the years, they appeared to have built a loving relationship and eventually started a family with the birth of their son. Inquiries at Adam's workplace further paint a positive picture. He is described as diligent, sincere, and someone who has never had any issues with colleagues or supervisors. As investigators continue gathering information about Adam, Rose contacts both them and her mother-in-law, Sylvia, with a shocking update that shifts the direction of the case. On June 18th, 4 days after Adam's disappearance, Rose says she returned home from work to find a typed note on the refrigerator that read, quote, "Need to talk." In addition to the note, Rose reports that several of Adam's belongings are now missing, including his cell phone, charger, computer, some clothes, and a suitcase. Strangely, however, Adam's car remains parked at the residence. That night, Investigators who had been nearby, searching the trail area for Adam with cadaver dogs, arrived at the Chase residence to examine the unexpected development. Rose immediately leads them to the spot where Adam's belongings had gone missing and cooperates fully, allowing the officers and dogs to search the entire house. Immediately, the officers take note of the home's condition. It is dirty, disorganized, and clearly hasn't been cared for in some time. But it's the basement that truly unsettles them. As they descend into the dim, musty space, they are hit by a harsh, foul odor that lingers in the air. When asked about it, Rose explains that rodents often eat rat poison, die, and rot in the basement. A closer look confirms her explanation. The officers find several decomposing rodents along with bats scattered around the space. After completing the inspection, the officers question Rose again about the argument that occurred on June 14th, the day Adam went missing. This time, she adds more detail. She says Adam had been furious over an incident at the park. Rose believed that the man with her in the park, Mark, was gay, and on June 11th, she asked him about it. When he said he wasn't, the two began, quote-unquote, making out in the park. Rose suspects that someone in Adam's family may have taken a photo of them, which set everything off. She then admits to being in a relationship with Mark for a while, explaining that Adam had become distant and disinterested in their marriage. His job was unstable for a while, and she says that she had been handling most of the expenses, including buying their house and cars. She shares that Adam spent most of his time gaming, focused only on his computer and nothing else, which had forced her to seek other relationships outside of their marriage, the most recent one being with Mark. Having completed their search and gained more information about Adam from Rose, officers leave the Chase residence and release a missing person poster for Adam. Authorities also inform the community, press, and media about the case.
Ontario County Sheriff's deputies are asking for your help tonight, finding a missing man. They say 31-year-old Adam Chase went missing on June 14th.
Adam's sister creates a page for him on social media, urging the public to come forward with any information that might help lead them to him. Search parties and official searches are conducted across the area to find Adam. Rose, Sylvia, and the entire Chase family also make emotional appeals through the media, asking Adam to return home.
If you can hear this, you have a place to come home to. Call me, email me, whichever. Just come home.
Adam, if you are seeing this, can you please come home to your family? They really do miss you. And if anybody knows where Adam is, please contact the Ontario County Sheriffs so this way the family can know how he is and that he's okay.
Investigators receive several tips from vigilant citizens reporting possible sightings of Adam, but each one turns out to be a false lead. As the search drags on and hope begins to fade, the investigation seems on the verge of going cold. Then, just as momentum wanes, there is a breakthrough. Out of nowhere, Adam suddenly starts messaging his family.
It said, staying with a friend in Canandaigua, need time to think.
In the messages, Adam told his parents that he was in the city of Canandaigua, staying with a friend, and assured them that he was all right. A similar message was sent to Rose, who also received another text from Adam the following day, this time from a different location within Canandaigua. In response, Adam's family and the investigators began sending text messages to his phone. Though the messages showed as delivered, they received no reply. When one of the officers attempted to call, the phone appeared to be turned off. Investigators were able to obtain location coordinates from Adam's phone through their tracking system, but each lead ended in disappointment. None of the locations turned up any sign of him. One officer even tried to trace the route that Adam may have taken on foot to Canandaigua, but found no sightings or physical traces along the way. The investigation was becoming increasingly strange and difficult. Adam was reaching out, yet unwilling to be found or meet with anyone. But soon the situation grew even murkier, prompting the Chase family to pursue a different path. Rodney Miller, a former Ontario County deputy and longtime friend of the Chase family, had been hired by them to pursue leads when the official investigation failed to bring answers for the family so far. Like the police, Miller began with the Chase residence. Rose granted him full access to the house and basement. He, too, found the dead rodents, but nothing more. As suspicion increasingly centered on the house, few realized that the real story lay elsewhere, far beyond what anyone had expected. Then, after another month of stalled progress, a major breakthrough finally comes on December 13th, 2012, exactly 6 months after Adam vanished. But the discovery doesn't come from within the department. In a shocking twist, it's Rodney Miller who cracks the case wide open.
911 Center, what's the location of the emergency?
Rodney Miller, get me Sheriff Powell right away.
I'm sorry, sir, what do you need?
I need Sheriff Powell immediately.
Yes, sir, I can't access him off this telephone line. What can I help you with?
I have Adam Chase. I found the body of Adam Chase. I want Sheriff Powell to call me immediately on this number.
Okay, sir, you said you found the body?
I know where he is. Please have Sheriff Powell get a hold of me right away.
Okay, sir, your name is Rodney Miller? We will,
You can get a hold of Investigator Martin also.
Okay, sir, and have you actually located the body?
No, sir. No, but I know where it is, I think.
Okay, sir, and where is that?
Just get somebody here at that residence, please.
Sir, what is the address I'm on? Do you know that?
What's the address here, Rose?
2215 Mott Road.
2215
Mott Road.
2215 Mott Road.
In an unexpected turn, the address Miller had just relayed to dispatch turned out to be the residence of Rose Chase's mother. As investigators struggled to process this startling revelation, they brought Rose in for another interview, one that would once again shift the entire course of the case.
Hey, Rose. Understand? Things are a little different than they were the last couple of times we talked. I know you've talked to John here quite a bit. You've been down to your mom's house, and you kind of showed him what was going on down there. How about, when you were taking him out of the house, did you cut him up or anything? Did you need any tools or anything, or?
No.
Because if you did, where would those be?
He just fell apart.
Okay.
That's right. Rose was the one who ended Adam's life. But investigators are still left with several pressing questions. Did she act alone? When exactly did it happen? And, most critically, why? While the questions were there, the answers are going to be nothing short of bone-chilling.
All right. How long had he been there?
He'd been there about 6 to 8 weeks.
Okay. So when we were in there the night that we came over, me and Investigator Durgan,
Yes.
where in the basement was he?
The part that I told you the light wouldn't work.
Mm-hmm.
I had skids along the wall,
Mm-hmm.
and he was underneath all that stuff that was in that corner.
Okay.
The rotting stench that every investigator had noticed in the basement was, in fact, Adam's body, left slumped on the concrete floor and concealed for over a month before Rose made an unthinkable decision about what to do with it. But the real question was, how did she manage it alone?
How'd you get in there?
I dragged him.
By yourself?
Mm-hmm.
And he's a pretty big guy. And, when somebody can't move, it's hard to move them.
It was very difficult.
Okay.
I will admit it was difficult.
Okay. What, Mark doesn't know anything about this?
He found out tonight
Okay.
when...
Was he involved in any portion of getting Adam out of the house?
No. I did not want him to know what happened.
In a previous interview with the investigators, Mark had told them how Rose didn't allow him to enter the basement for a long time after he moved in.
What precipitated all this? I mean, obviously, his boss talked to him early that morning, 9:30,
Mm-hmm.
right? The day that he called into work, is that when this happened?
Yes.
Okay. Well, what happened?
him and I called into work so this way we could work things out.
Okay.
He went back to sleep after he called up his boss.
Okay.
I tried waking him up. It took me a while, but he finally got up. He went upstairs to grab a smoke. Then he started to go on the computer, and I thought we were going to talk about this. Started arguing again about the fact that Mark kissed me, and I go, yes, it was only a kiss. And he goes, well, you told me last night that we're going to get a DNA test done on Tristan. I told him then, no need, Tristan's not yours. He got furious, punched the wall.
Okay, and that was the hole that we saw.
In an interview with police, Rose's mother, Patricia, revealed that the day before Adam disappeared, he had spoken with her several times about Rose's kissing incident with Mark. The following morning, amidst an argument, Adam called Patricia again, asking if she knew about the child's DNA test. Patricia tried to calm him down and urged him to consider counseling. Later that evening, when Patricia called Adam, Rose answered the phone and told her that Adam had stormed out of the house after the argument, convinced he was not the father of their son. But this was far from the truth.
I went to grab him. He did push me away. I went to grab him again, and I don't know if he tried to push me away again or if I tried to grabbed him wrong, but his foot caught the stairs and he tumbled down the stairs.
Okay.
Although Rose claimed that Adam's death was the result of an accidental fall down the stairs, investigators remained unconvinced. If it truly had been an accident, why hadn't she called for medical assistance immediately? A question that will come up later in this interrogation.
It was to the side, and he rolled down the stairs. He rolled down the stairs and just laid there. I don't remember him falling forward. I don't remember him falling back. I just remember him falling to the side. I paused. I go, Adam, you okay? Hesitated, shook him a little bit. Waited a few more minutes. Still wasn't moving. I shook him again. Still wasn't moving. Looked to see if he had a pulse. Didn't really
Where'd you check?
I checked his first.
Okay. Did you check his neck at all? To see if he had one there?
No.
Okay. All right, keep going.
Then I just waited a few more minutes, and then he started to wet himself.
Okay.
I panicked. I didn't know if any of the neighbors heard anything.
He started wetting himself after, it was about 5 minutes.
It's about 5 minutes afterwards.
He started wetting himself. Did you think that was any indication of he could have still been alive, or?
I don't know.
Did you maybe, when he started doing that, you kind of thought, did you shake him again, Brian, or Adam, or you just assumed it was,
after
he was still dead?
After he let himself, I assumed he was dead.
What ultimately led Miller to uncover Rose's long-buried secret was her fear. Trusting his instincts that Rose was somehow involved in Adam's death, Miller confided in her son's babysitter and enlisted his help. The day of the shocking discovery, when Rose arrived to pick up her son, the babysitter casually mentioned that news reports stated that investigators had made a major breakthrough in the case and were close to arresting someone connected to Adam's disappearance. The statement sent Rose into a panic. Overwhelmed, she reached out to Miller and confessed. But that confession was only the beginning. What she went on to reveal to Miller and the investigators would expose a series of harrowing and deeply unsettling details.
We started arguing in this room, and when he gets up, after I told him about Tristan, he punches the wall, starts to walk away. I grabbed him by the arm. He pushed me away.
Which arm?
It'd have to be this arm, his left.
Okay, so is he facing you at this point?
No, he was
Or
walking away. I grabbed him by his left arm. He takes his right arm, kind of gives me a little bit of push. Not really hard, just a little push.
So your natural reaction was to just shove him back?
No, I didn't shove him back. He started walking away again, and I went to grab him again, and this time, I want to say, I grabbed his left arm again. He went to, I want to say he went to push me away again, and that's when his right foot caught the edge of the stairs.
This is the top step, or was he down a couple stairs? So he was halfway down?
He was at the top. He was on the, let's see, you got right here. There's a little platform before you go on the stairs. He was right here.
So he already made it down one portion of the stairs as on the platform.
Because I remember it was a sunny day, and the light was coming in from the window right there. So I grabbed him. He went to push me away again. That's when his right foot caught the edge of the stairs, and he just tumbled.
How many stairs are on that second point from that platform to the ground? Approximately.
12?
Okay, so it's a longer flight.
Mm-hmm. I want to say 12. I'm not exactly sure.
How many times did he tumble? Or did he tumble at all? Did he slide down?
No, he tumbled. I know he tumbled, but I don't know how many times. He tumbled. Hit his head on the door. Door was open.
Which door? At the bottom of the stairs or the top?
At the bottom of the stairs.
Okay.
The door was open, but it wasn't open all the way.
Mm-hmm. So other than going to check on him, did you ever, I mean, obviously we didn't get any 911 calls. You checked for a pulse, you didn't feel one. You took him down to the basement. He was there for how long? Do you figure? I mean, the day that he calls.
The day that this happened.
Is the day that he calls into work, just so we're, June 14th?
June 14th.
Okay.
When I got him into the basement, I was exhausted from moving him, so I left him at the bottom of the stairs.
Okay.
The following day, I got Tristan on the bus.
Okay.
And went to the bank. Sylvia called me and said that she talked to the sheriff that he wanted to talk to me. Mm-hmm. So I went back to the house in a panic. Saw Adam just laying there, and I didn't want the sheriff to see him there because I knew he would arrest me right on the spot.
Mm-hmm.
So that little corner cut out of the wall, I thought about putting him in there. I went in there, checked it out, was going to put him in an area in the dirt.
Mm-hmm.
But when I went to move him, I couldn't really lift him that far.
Mm-hmm.
So I was still panicking. So I actually dragged him by his feet into the lower part of the basement, got him so this way he was He was cross-legged like this, and I struggled to get him into this position.
Okay.
And that's when I put the tarp. That's when I put everything
Okay.
on top of it.
Anything more than a tarp? I mean, plastic?
No, it was my son's kiddie pool that he was originally over top of him. I had all the skids of stuff surrounding him. Then I put long pieces of board over top of that, and I made it look like a table.
And as the investigators pressed with more direct questions, the disturbing truth behind Rose's attempt to conceal the real truth slowly begins to unravel.
Again, just to clarify a couple of things. His cell phone. You send those text messages?
I did.
Okay. The laptop computer, where'd that go?
I got it out of my house.
Okay. The note that was hung up on the fridge?
That was me.
Okay.
Adam's phone was later discovered discarded alongside a road near the location in Canandaigua where his final text messages had been sent.
With is if this was him falling down the stairs, why do we go through all this? I mean, what do we go through all this for? Help me figure this out, because...
At first, I thought everyone was going to think it was a murder. That I offed him on purpose. And then after I hid the body, and the dogs came in, I thought I got pretty lucky. I was going to turn myself in several times. But the thing that kept shying me away from turning myself in was how his family acted.
What do you mean by that?
As in, what they were doing was, pissing me off. How about they were, saying that I did all this stuff without physical evidence, and it really pissed me off, and I just wanted...
So this drags on mostly because of their treatment of you after this happens?
Correct.
Why would you think that we would think you murdered him? I mean, we were talking about it in the car. I mean, you tried to grab him. He fell down the stairs. I mean, you saw him at the bottom of the stairs. Normally people would call 911 and try to get him some help. And there's nobody else there that saw this argument, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so do you think that maybe you pushed him? It's a natural reflex. I wouldn't blame you if you did. If somebody's shoving me, my natural reflex is to shove him back. You didn't do it on purpose.
I don't remember pushing. I remember grabbing his arm, but I don't remember pushing him in that direction.
But I mean, did you grab him to pull him towards you? I mean, why did you grab his arm?
I just grabbed him to get his attention.
Or, just throwing this out there, if he makes it, does he tell us something different about what happened up there?
I don't think he would have told you anything different. Only thing...
Well, here's what we're trying to figure out, Rose. This is the part that's confusing to all of us. If this is truly an accident, if you two are squabbling at the top of the stairs, he slips, falls, breaks his neck, whatever happened to him. Well, hang on. The first natural reaction from anybody, I don't care if it's your mortal enemy, is going to be to try to get this guy some help. The thing that I keep hearing is that you're going to turn yourself in, that, if the first deputy that shows up saw him, you were going to get arrested. If this was an accident, and none of that happens that way, that just tells me that if Adam doesn't perish from his injuries, that maybe he tells us a different story about what happened on that stairwell.
What I was afraid of, if Adam didn't perish on that stairwell, was that the truth about Tristan's DNA was going to come out. It came out anyway, but the first thing that was going through my head was, okay, Adam died.
As Rose continues to weave excuses around the confrontation in an attempt to prove her innocence, investigators refuse to let go of their theory, despite her repeated attempts.
Can one of you stand up for a second?
Sure. So I'm closer.
Okay. Top of the stairs.
Okay.
Okay. I grabbed your arm.
Go ahead. Yeah.
And he went to push me away again.
Okay.
And this time, I blocked him.
Okay.
Foot's right there at the stairs.
Mhm. So
Yeah,
you hit him?
I didn't hit him hard.
Okay.
But my hand brushed against his face.
Okay.
Down.
Did you fall down the stairs too?
No.
Okay.
Because I grabbed the guardrail.
Okay. All right.
And I just watched him fall. I don't know how many times he...
So there was enough momentum as you were
But
as you were swatting at him, there was enough momentum where you almost went down the stairs too. Is that? But you grabbed the guardrail. He obviously didn't have a chance to. I mean, and again, this wasn't the first go round for you two having a problem like this. The difference is this time now you have Tristan. Now he's also using Tristan as an investigative tool to figure out what's going on. You know, the key logger wasn't bad enough. Have an identical phone to yours wasn't enough. Now he's involving your son, because it's not Adam's son. You know that. He's involving your son in this mess, and this is it. You've had enough. Anybody can see how that happens. You know, I mean, we've pretty much to the point. That's what I'm trying to tell you. But in the same note,
at the beginning of that day, it was trying to cover my ass.
Well, because you got away with it before, right?
And
I mean, you were able to deny your way out of this kind of stuff before.
Correct.
So
This time I was trying to cover my ass, but then I came out.
Mhm. And when that came out, Tristan's true father. I mean, you didn't tell him who the father was, right? You just told him it wasn't him.
Correct.
And obviously that sets him off to a new level than he's been at before, because he's had suspicions about infidelity before, which, you know, whatever came of them came of them. Now he's sure, and then on top of that, we've got him now knowing that Tristan's not his, and he's mad, you're mad, and things just escalate. You know, I mean, it's.
But my whole intent for when he was right there, I didn't want him to fall down the stairs. I just wanted to get his attention. I wanted to talk to him. That was the whole thing, was that we were mainly going to talk. That he just went back to the computer. That really pissed me off.
Well, he spent most of his life at the computer. He ignored your son because he was at the computer.
Yeah, I know that.
You know? I mean, let's call a spade a spade. We got to be honest here. And that made you mad too. Because I don't know any mother in the world that would prefer their husband, and even if he doesn't know at that point that Tristan, the fact that he didn't know that Tristan wasn't his kind of makes it worse. Because that's your own son, and you're playing video games. Or you're on the computer, you're doing whatever. You know? Yeah, I mean, I can understand your frustration with him.
People are going to understand the anger here. They're going to understand it. They're going to understand if you pushed them.
Yeah, another thing that was going through my head at the same time was, hey, if he's dead, you don't have to worry about waking him up anymore. It's spending 2 hours trying to wake him up.
Well, you guys had a tough relationship.
So again, that's something people are going to understand. What they're not going to understand is you being clear about everything else except for that one point in time. They're not going to understand that.
But as Rose continues to avoid direct answers, investigators are certain that this is a case of murder, especially given the horrific step she took to dispose of Adam's remains in September of 2012, nearly 4 months after his death.
And it was your car, that you were taking him down to your mom's house in?
Correct.
His car used at all
No.
for any of it? Okay.
No, I just moved it.
What were you using? Blankets, rugs? What were you rolling them up in? I mean, what was the biggest piece that you had to get out of there by yourself? I mean, his torso? I mean.
The torso part.
Okay.
Oh, God. And
tell me about it.
Well, all right. Head, arms, legs, came off no problem.
All right. Now, came off, you mean they just kind of fell off?
Fell off. I mean,
Okay.
the legs fell off right about the knees. Okay. This is the real creepy part. The torso itself. I went to lift it up once. I put it on a trash bag. Wrapped it up, took a blanket, lifted it up to where the sub pump was. I went upstairs, opened up the car door, back hatch, and as I'm lifting up the torso part, it hits my keys and the car alarm is going off.
No, you're doing this all at night?
Actually, I did it over. Yeah, I wrapped him up, lifted him up, put him in the car, and I remember my car alarm goes off, and of course I got his legs and his arms in there first, then the torso goes off. One of my neighbors came out, I shut the door, and, they were like, hey, was that your car alarm? I go, yeah. I hit the button by mistake. I thought when I was carrying him down the ramp that he was gonna slip out of me. But he didn't. I made it to the car.
In her chilling confession to Miller, he asked if she had buried Adam. Rose quietly replied, quote, I burned him. When investigators arrived, she led them to her mother's residence and pointed to a trash can, saying, quote, I put him there. A forensic team began searching the area, and inside the trash can, they discovered several of Adam's remains. Rose later admitted that she had used her mother's fire pit to burn his body, claiming that her mother had no knowledge of what she had done.
So what made you think to burn him? And where'd you?
Because he always wanted to be cremated. That's the one thing he wanted, was to be cremated. He didn't want a sappy funeral. He didn't want anybody to play those sad songs. He just wanted to be cremated and pretty much to have it a blast. So before anybody could see it, I took the shovel and I scooped them into the trash can. My mom came over and said, what are you doing? The fire's already out. I said, I just want to make sure that everything's out, just to make sure that, just to take care of stuff. Because there was also some nails from the wood, and I go, see, there's nails. I don't want you to hit it with your lawnmower and send it flying somewhere.
Despite the damning evidence, Rose had continued to insist, even at her mother's residence, that Adam's death was accidental, that he had simply fallen down the stairs. As she repeated this claim during the interrogation, investigators changed their strategy, presenting themselves as allies in an effort to gain her trust and draw out the full truth.
They had a tough relationship.
So again, that's something people are going to understand. What they're not going to understand is you being clear about everything else except for that one point in time. They're not going to understand that. And then they're going to think you're trying to cover something up.
And let's be honest, we got a 5.5, almost 6 month history, 6 months tomorrow, of not really being truthful here. This is the time to lay it on the table, because we can't keep doing what we've been doing.
Anybody hearing your story is going to say, hell yeah, I would have pushed him too.
I think subconsciously I did want to push him.
Okay. So did you?
I'm going to have to say yes.
Okay.
I went to grab his arm. He went to take me away again. And with that hit on the head, it was more disorient once I seen that he lost his footing, so this way he didn't grab the railing. Down the stairs.
Where'd you push him? Once you saw that was he trying to grab for the railing?
I still had a hold of his arm at the time,
Okay.
and it was just a final.
But you knew he was falling, so
Yeah.
you gave it a final shove because you wanted him to fall down those stairs.
Yeah.
Because you were pissed.
Grabbed a bag out from the kitchen. Wiggled the bag underneath him. Still wasn't doing anything. Got him on that bag. I mean, it was one of those heavy-duty tarp, almost like what you use for lining of a waterbed.
Okay. Big, thick, heavy.
Yeah. That made it a little bit easier to drag him into.
Mm-hmm.
After I got him to the stairwell in the right in front of the basement, still wasn't moving anything. He didn't do anything. I actually cleared all those doors and stuff out of the stairwell, giving myself some more room. Grabbed him. He's still not moving. Got him right there. He's right there on the platform, and I gave him another shove into the basement. I couldn't carry him.
Mm-hmm.
I just let gravity.
Just let him slide down the stairs.
Let gravity do
Okay.
its work.
Did he tumble there?
He tumbled there. He hit his head. He hit his head there and started bleeding. At the bottom of the stairwell, there was some blood.
Okay.
And I only remember the blood there because when I went to put him in the corner, when I went to lift him up, where his head hit me,
Mm-hmm.
there was some blood on my clothes, so I had to wash it.
Mm-hmm.
So I washed my clothes. I also bleached the bottom of the stairs.
Okay, that bottle of bleach that was in the basement, is that the one?
Rose Chase was arrested on charges of second-degree murder and tampering with physical evidence. She was sentenced to 23.5 years to life in prison. The Chase family now cares for Rose's son and finds some measure of peace in knowing that justice has been served for Adam. If you think this case was horrific, you need to check out my video on the BDSM ranch from hell.